Hey guys, Parfax here. Today I wanted to bring you a quick video about things you should do when you're starting Crowfall. If you didn't know, Crowfall just reached its beta phase, and where it's not a perfect game and they're still working on a lot of things, if you were looking to get into the game, I want to give you a video about things you should do when you're starting the game. If you want to get in the game, you can do it a couple different ways. You can either go to a stream or on their website and try to win a key, or you can buy one of their packages which will allow you to get into the game starting, well, the day you buy it, and it'll go all the way up until it launches. So if you're looking to play Crowfall and you think you have a few extra bucks to spend, you can go ahead and go to their website. I'll put a link in the description, and it will give you access to the game right now and all the way up until it launches. Okay, so when you get into the game for the first time, you're going to be addressed with this screen. You're going to see three things here, which is Eternal Kingdoms, God's Reach, and Campaign. Eternal Kingdoms are basically your personal housing system. I'm not going to go too in-depth with it, but it is one of the most unique housing systems I've ever seen in really any game. But it's not really fleshed out at the moment, and they're still working on it. God's Reach is where every player is going to start their journey. It is a campaign they basically put in that is for new players. As you can see, it says a starter world for new players. And it's all PvE. You're only going to be fighting monsters. You'll see every faction there. You won't even have to pick a faction. You'll see some guild tags. But it's basically where you're going to start your character, and every time you want to level a character, that's where you're going to start. Then you have Campaign. Campaign is your end game. There will be different types of campaigns. Currently, there's only Dregs, which is guild v guild v guild v guild. So if you are in a guild and you join the campaign that's up, then you will be tagged as your guild, and your only allies are your guild. Now, if you don't have a guild, that's fine. You'll pick between a faction. And when you go that faction, you'll just be able to go into the Dregs campaign, experience kind of what it has to offer while you're looking for a guild. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you get into the game is you're going to click on God's Reach here. This is going to bring you to your character page. It's also up here is going to show you, you have the Eternal Kingdoms, campaigns, and of course God's Reach. If you have purchased anything, you'll see it up here. Like you see that I have 10 things, which are things that I purchased with my pack. We got some rewards. I do have a lot of stuff in game already that were in here. So the first thing I really want to point you to here is your skills. One of the skill trees that you'll have in this game are your passive skills that you'll get just from clicking a button. So as you can see right now, I am tracking into two different trees. I'll show you what they look like here. We're going to browse. So you have three different trees you get to choose from when you first start. You have the combat tree, the crafting, and the exploration. You'll be able to train into two of those. Obviously, everybody should spec into combat unless maybe you're specifically a gatherer and a crafter, but I would still spec into combat so you can go down the armor trees and just become tankier. Okay, now if you want to spec into something, all you have to do is you'll hit these little buttons. They'll be right up top. As you can see, I can't train into that one. But if I want to go, for instance, crafting, and I wanted to train into crafting, I'll hit this select button. And whether you're online or offline, it'll start putting points into there for you to spend. So let's go ahead and spend a couple of my points. So I'm just going to click this spend points button, and it's going to bring up the tree. As you can see, I've already trained into a few things. And let's go up here to some critical strike chance. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click, and as you can see on the left-hand side here, my points went away, and I was able to put a point in about 40% in there, and it saves it. And the next time I come in, I'll just finish filling that bar, and I'll get another what they call pip, and I'll get a little bit extra crit chance. Okay, we'll do my exploration as well. Let's just go down here. It looks like I was doing pathfinding. We'll just put a couple points in there. This is as many points as I can put in now. So I'm basically zeroed out. As you can see, it is passive, so I've already gained 3 points into the combat tree, now 4. So it ticks, I'm not exactly sure the tick rate, it's every few seconds you get a point. Alright, now if you want to get to the next trees, all you have to do is hover over them and they'll tell you what you need. So it says 5 points trained in gathering proficiency, and you can just go in here and there's the gathering proficiency node. So that means all I've got to do is go up to here, put 5 points into that, and it'll unlock the next tree. Now that you've started training, well, what are you going to do? Well, let's make a character. So you'll be on this screen, you'll be under God's Reach, and you'll just create a new character. So Crowfall has a bunch of different races to pick from, and quite a few classes as well. Now, each class has 3 subclasses once you get into the game, but you don't have to worry about that right now. First, you want to pick your race. Now, not every race can play each class. As you can see, the Centaur can only play Champion, Cleric, and Knight. So go in. I'll put a link down in the description below for the passives you get for each race. Just kind of mix and match. There are some that are better for some classes than others, but it's kind of your preference when it comes to what you want to be. So I'm thinking about making a Knight. So I can make a Centaur Knight, which would be pretty cool. I can make a Ganetian Knight, maybe go in stealth, be like a little stealth ganky Knight. Let's go Centaur. I'm going to be a very much support Knight. And with a Centaur, they have an armor break. And I just want to be really tanky and help my group out. So let's go Centaur. There's not a whole lot of customization. You get a couple different styles, a couple different colors. There's not a whole lot, but let's still see if I can make my guy look kind of cool. Yeah, we'll get whatever that is there. Let's get the long hair. Let's go a little darker. We'll get a black butt. And yeah, let's go kind of like a maroon hair. Alright, so I made my character, and you're just going to go down here and click Go to God's Reach. And now you see we have 4 different campaigns here in God's Reach. Okay, you have East, West, EU, and Infected. If you look down here, this is going to tell you a couple things about the campaign. And I say campaign, but it's God's Reach, but these do start and end as well, sort of like campaigns. So you see that there's a minimum level requirement of 15 in here. And that means I have to level in one of these that don't have that restriction until I get to level 15. And then I can go into this campaign. And then you see here that it has a PvP symbol. What this means is you'll be able to kill other players that aren't in your guild. Now, with Infected, you don't lose any of your gear. You don't lose anything that you have in your inventory. It's just kind of a way to you get started in the game if you want a PvP. So I live closer to the East Coast. So we're going to click here in the East. We're going to enter World. And as you see some of the cool artwork Crowfall has, we have a Druid, we have a Ranger, that's a Knight. No, that's a Cleric. She got the hammer. And that's a Knight right there. Okay, as we're going to be entering into the game here, the first thing we're going to see is our quest giver. How you want to level in Crowfall, mainly, especially as a new player, is you're going to start your quest, as you can see is Giuseppe right here. I'm not going to read it, but you can. It does have some nice lore, and they're going to teach you a lot about the game. So to go over to the quest giver, you'll see you can just hit F to talk to him, and then Y is kind of to scroll through it. And if you see at the top of my screen, very top, I'll see a compass, and it has the question mark on it, which just means that's where I need to go for the quest. We're going to go here and talk to the Sentinel. We leveled up already. He's going to give you a couple things. He's going to talk about your skill tree. I'll let you kind of scroll through the quest as you go. There's a lot of good information in them. But let's talk a little bit about your points in your skill tree, because this is very important. So you're going to look at your skill tree here, which is right here. And the main thing you want to do is you want to kind of map out how many points you're going to have. For the most part, the first thing you want to look at are your subclasses here. So as a Knight, I have Swordsman, I have Secutor, and I have Sentinel. You can kind of look through the trees to see which you want to pick. For the most part, you can pick pretty much anything and be viable. There are some meta classes like Storm Callers for range DPS. Rangers are really good. Slayers are good. Alphas are okay. Pit Fighters are pretty tanky. Um, Secutors and Swordsmen. Swordsman's the DPS and Secutor's the tank. Sentinel is the CC version. Most people typically don't go Sentinel, but try it out. It doesn't take very long to level, and just kind of browse through the skill tree to see what kind of skills you want. Once you get to this point right here, you're going to pick your subclass. You cannot put points into any other tree. So if I had a character, every character has the ability to put points into here. But once you go down these trees, you can only put points into those. The biggest thing you really want to watch out for is these are extremely huge to get on every class, and they are 5 points to get each one of them. Everything else is 1. So if I wanted to put, since I'm level 1, we're going to put 1 point into here. So we're going to get shield swipe. Boom, I have that skill. But if we go over to here, these are your major discipline slots, which you can see right here. These are very important for everybody to have, and they're 5 apiece, so make sure you save up for them. And then also, you want to make sure you get your minors. So there's always going to be one right here and right here. So you have to put 3 points into the one before it, if it's a 5 pip, before you can get to this. If you have a 3 pip, you put 2 into here, and then I'll let you go to this next one. Okay, so that's kind of enough about the skill tree. If you want to make another video about that, I can. Just let me know. But the last thing that I kind of want to touch on, well, I should say second to last thing, is how you level. I touched on it a little bit, but what you want to do is you want to follow these quests until you hit 18. Once you hit 18, or sometimes it can be 17, the quest will stop. There is a third version that is going to come in the game, but it's not in there yet. But once you run out of quests, you might ask yourself, well, then how do I level? So I'm going to hit M here, and we're going to look at the map. Now, I'm just in the Earth Temple here, and as you can see, there's these little camps. And these are level 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 7 to 9. Okay, at one point, it's going to have you go to the Sun Temple, which is going to have level 13 to 15 mobs. And then you can go to other zones that have higher level mobs. So once you hit 18, you're going to want to grind. So you're just going to go out, you're going to kill mobs. You're going to want to make sure you kill elites if you see them, because they have a higher chance of dropping gear. And you're going to try to level up. I suggest people to level to 30 in this area, because it's really not bad at all. It doesn't take much time. You can possibly get groups as you go, and it'll get you a little bit of gear to get into like the affected to try that out. Okay, so when it comes to grinding, the thing that you want to make sure is that they are within 5 levels of yourself. So if I look here at this level 13 to 15 camp, in order for me to be able to kill all the mobs at those camps, which would be 15, I need to be level 10 to go there. When I'm not level 10, they will do significantly more damage to me, and I will deal almost no damage to them. So you get one shot, and it takes 40,000 years for you to actually kill a mob. So once you hit level 10, you can go here and kill mobs if you want, but once you hit 8, you'll hit 18 just by doing the new player experience, which is what I suggest you to do. Once you're done with that, as you see, here's a 19 to 24. So you can come into here and you can go to this, which I believe is actually spiders right now. You can kill those until you hit, I don't know, level 21 or 22. And then you can move over to this camp and get to level maybe 25. Once you hit 25, you can then go to this zone with 30 being the cap. If you're at 25, you'll be able to kill either of these set of mobs. Grind it all the way up to 30, and then boom, you can go into the campaign world. Now, I'm going to log out here, and I want to show you one last thing before we log off. Okay, you can see here that I've logged off, and I'm back to my character select screen. So I want to talk a little bit about the campaign worlds plus the vault. So the vault is an extremely important thing. It is basically your global bank, and it allows you to take things from one campaign to another. So if you look here, this was the last campaign. Or no, I'm sorry, this is the current campaign. And if I wanted to, let's say, bring this cloth into my world banks, maybe I want to use it on a character, who knows, for whatever reason, doesn't matter. I have a specific amount of export tokens. So if I take this and put it here, it's going to ask if I want to export. I'll hit the export button, and now I go to 99. So that means for this campaign, unless I meet some extra objective, which I'll show you in a second, I only have 99 more stacks of items that I can take out of that campaign. That campaign will eventually die, and all this stuff will be lost. Okay? Now you may look here and see 0 import. What that means was for this specific campaign, we were not allowed to bring any gear in. The only thing you're allowed to bring in are your runes. So all the runes you have on your person, you can bring in, but if you have any gear equipped or anything in your inventory, it will not let you join the campaign. You have to go in and take it out and put it into the bank, which when you're going through the new player experience, it will show you the bank. You can put it into there, which ends up right here. Or you just have to delete it. Okay? So when it comes to the campaigns, right now there's only one up, but you want to look to see exactly what it is, and the best way to look at that is right down here below. So it has a minimum level of 20. That's pretty self-explanatory. It has PvP enabled, which I believe every campaign will. It has so far. And it has the embargo active. So that just means that that's your import-export system, and as you can see, its default import tokens are 0. That just means we can't move anything in there. Now when you're in the world and you're in the campaign and you die, everything in your inventory that you do not have equipped will be lost. People can chop off your heads, and they can get your skull, and anything that's in your inventory, they can loot it off your body. So make sure you don't have anything very important in your inventory so that you don't lose it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. It was a little longer than I was hoping for, but there's a lot of things to Crowfall. That's a very beginner guide about how to get started, how to get into your first campaign. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you'd like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, go ahead and let me know in the comments and hit the subscribe button. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.